All right. Let's go ahead and get into Travis Kelce. Let's go ahead and get into Travis Kelce, and because this was something that a lot of people, you know, got upset about, and there's obviously a reason for it, and there's obviously when you're in the moment and when you're into the game and you see something like that happens, it definitely can create a negative connotation for the experience, right? So I went back and watched the video. I went back and I watched what happened, and I went back and I looked at the reaction, right? So for those who don't know, Travis Kelce got mad because obviously, a fumble had occurred on the previous play, and he wanted to be in on that play essentially. So he gets upset. He then goes over to Andy Reid and bumps into him, gets in his face, says a bunch of words, and a lot of people got upset about that. So number one, it was disrespectful, right? So we're not gonna discredit that at all. We're gonna hold him accountable for that. What I will say is this though: you're in a Super Bowl, you're losing, the emotions are high, the tempers are high, and not that it excuses anything that he's done, but I'm not sure he really realized that was his coach at that moment, right? Because we've never seen that. We've never seen that side of Travis. And there's been a lot of people who have, been saying things, well, maybe his attitude's changing because he's with Taylor now. And, maybe he was acting like that because Taylor's watching him. And, oh, keep me in the game, coach. My girl's watching. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to hear that shit. Nobody cares about your girl watching. So, the real question to me is it something that was purely from the emotion of the game and wanting to win and upset because you weren't in for that play? Even then, it still wouldn't be excused because of the disrespect. But in the same sense, you would understand it because this is a competitive individual. This is a person that wants to go out there and win for their team and win a Super Bowl. Now, with that said, we've never seen Travis Kelce do this. So, this is definitely one of those situations where you sit back and you're like, why the hell would he do that? And, why would you bump into this man? Why would you bump into your seasoned, matured, older gentleman of a coach, a man who's established, who has, is a Super Bowl champion, who has, guided you and led you to victories? Why would you treat this man with such disrespect? And so that, that really opens up another door to really understand as far as, well, if this is Travis's mindset now, how does that fare in the coming years if he's still with the team? And because I think about how if this happened to somebody else, right? If this happened to a Pete Carroll, well, Travis, you're going to sit your ass down. If this happens to a Bill Belichick, Travis, you're going to go sit your ass down. And, it was really wild to me because I really feel like Andy just kind of crawled up, right? It was kind of weird. And I said that last night because, when you have a player, superstar, whatever, get into the face of a coach, that sets the precedent for other people to do it. And that sets the respect and the morale factor in the locker room a little different, because other people are seeing that. Well, maybe I can do it. I can get pissed off about something and jump in front of the coach's face now. It's really weird. And so for, Travis to be a veteran and not know that and really understand that fact and, voice his frustration. Hey, listen, you want to throw your helmet? You want to go break a tablet? Whatever. You go do that on the bench. But to jump into your coach's face, it was really disrespectful. And it put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth, right? It really changed as far as how people look at Travis in regards to, being a great tight end and being a great football player and having a decent way of carrying himself. So yeah, that changes things, and it's really unfortunate because, like I said, we haven't seen this before, and the real question comes to now is whether or not you know is it going to be something that we see moving forward. Now, to his credit, because we have to look at it from all angles, right? To his credit, he did go back up to Andy Reid, give him a hug, talk to him, whatever. But my problem is this: he obviously took accountability. But why didn't you have that same kind of restraint? Why didn't you have that same kind of mental, um, that mental kind of prowess in the front of your mind to know where you should direct your anger or your frustrations to? Um, when you react out of emotion, these kind of things happen, and that's what he did, and it's really unfortunate. Now, that doesn't take away from him being a Super Bowl champion. That doesn't take away from everything that he did on the field. That's purely a character issue that people are looking at right now. And I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. It was really wild on Twitter, also known as X. It was really wild on X. Some of the stuff I was reading about it was crazy. Some of the Swifties were a little nervous. In fact, may I quote? Maybe I should try to find it. That way because I don't want to be held liable for some of this stuff that people said. But hey, it's out there. And I'm not taking this out of context. This is exactly what people were saying, that maybe they should be worried about Taylor Swift. Maybe they should be concerned about her well-being around Travis. This is all stuff that people were saying, and it wasn't just one or two. It was a lot of people. It was a lot of people saying that. And like I said, it goes to the point of when you do something at this level, and when you're around these kind of people, when you're involved with this kind of network, one issue, one problem, one thing that you do that is different from how you've acted in the beginning, is different from what you portray, can get you completely dropped and canceled. And you don't want the Swifties not on your side. I'm just saying that. I'm just leaving it there. I'm sure they'll figure it out. I'm sure I'm sure they'll get through it. But it was really wild. The comments are out there, and once again, that's the kind of negative stuff you don't want around you. So hopefully, he'll think twice before he does that kind of thing again, and not even to just Andy Reid. Anybody, because you're a superstar. You're a global person that's known globally now, and you just can't act like that. So if you got an ego because of the situation, or if you got an ego because of who you think you are, you probably need to work on that. So that's my take in regards to the Travis Kelce situation. But like I said, with that said, we're not going to discredit the fact that he is a Super Bowl champion. We're not going to discredit the fact that he tied Jerry Rice's record, and we're not going to discredit the fact that he is an amazing tight end. Definitely up there. I would probably have to put him, top 3 at this point. But yeah, I think other than that, the Chiefs did what they were supposed to do on the field. They went out there, they won, they took care of business, and hey, they were Super Bowl 58 champions.